welcome back, guys. Like I said yesterday, we would be back here Thursday. So welcome to the Blockchain Brew Show. I'm T Squared. This is our home slice skillet Trentinator in the house. We're going to go over all sorts of news. We're going to chart with you. We're going to check out the bubbles, and we're going to talk over what's going on in the government. Maybe hit up the DXY. Anywho, remember, this is not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. Plus, on the flippity flop, we got the golden thumb. This is what we're looking for. Not thumbs down, but thumbs up. Not thumbs down, but thumbs up. And we're excited because we want you guys to smash it. Bam, 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 chicka, bam, bang. Smash that like button. Secondly, my second agenda, we have this decorative belt. It is very beautiful, very tiny, petite, almost like something from Beauty and the Beast. It makes a nice ding, 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 ding. And when you hear that, ladies and gentlemen, check out the corners because one of them has the subscribe buttons in it. Yes, it does. And we do need you to hit that so we can boost our algorithm on YouTube because it is the fantastic phantasm powder algorithm you could have ever expected for any YouTube channel. But getting started today, I do have a salted caramel porter. It's coming in at 5.8%. Cascade Lakes Brewing Company. It says a lightly roasted mahogany colored medium bodied malt that is smooth as a Marvin Gaye love song. I don't know any Marvin Gaye, but if anybody does, please fill me in. With a sweet salted caramel flavor, this special porter is a delicious ale you'll want to enjoy over and over. I don't care what you do, but I don't think that I will ever enjoy salted caramel over a gay love song. It's just not my type of thing. I'm just gonna be honest. I did not read the label before buying the can. Regardless, I got everybody's favorite person in the house, Mr. Trumpinator. Yes, sir. That's who I got. And I'm gonna pop this bad boy open. Ooh, yeah. Here. I can't do this sitting down, so let me stand up. Ooh, that is dark. I don't know what color mahogany is, but that looks pretty mahogany. Mahogany manigi. All right, filling it up. There you got a lot of head. I got about 10 inches of head, so we're just gonna let it chill out. Oh, this is not a chug. This is a sip. The polar opposite of a chug. But I'll tell you what. If you can't see the head, you can look off the reflection of the glasses. You can see it quite clearly. And it smells woody. It smells kind of woody. Almost like a wet moss kind of smell. But no, it's going to be pretty good. I'm just going to let it sit there and kind of fizzle down. And we're going to go over to Trent to see what he has in his glass.
Well, today I'm bringing you guys my very last otter romp that I have sitting in my fridge. This is the bittersweet thing about craft beer. When
you talking, Trent?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me? Oh. This is the bittersweet thing about craft beer when you get your stuff from local microbreweries. This is a collab between two breweries, which makes it even more likely to be a once-off thing that they're never ever going to make again. It's kind of, in a sense, more rare than an NFT. They should make an NFT line around these, and
you're never gonna make another otter romp again?
Probably not.
Well, why not?
I mean, if those two breweries collab again, they'll probably collab a different beer.
That's probably true.
Yeah,
you should have saved that one, kept it on the shelf.
I know, but I gotta drink it fresh. These places should make an NFT line, and then holders of their NFTs can get first pick on new releases, and they can get special discounts, stuff like that. So why don't you email that to them and pitch it to them? They can pay you for the idea.
Hedera is doing that right now. They're RWAing liquors in Scotland on the network.
Really?
Yeah. I watched the whole interview on it. It was really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Al, you wouldn't believe what I found today. I got two things today. No, usually I actually left one in my truck. I guess technically I found 3, but
ASMR
woo,
pop.
fresh. Yeah, you can pour it sitting down pretty good, Trent.
We got ourselves a little juice bomb.
What's a juice bomb?
A hazy IPA that's real juicy.
Oh.
Little mango, pineapple, unripened, hop forward, little bit of bitterness on the finish, little bit of kick on the finish. And yeah, it's nice, flavorful.
You know what's funny, Trent? I went to a brewery today to check out some beers for the show, and I was like, "Hey, what do you guys got? What do you guys got?" And she was all like, "Oh, we got a brew shop shut down, so they don't have any beer." They're like, "Well, you got local stuff?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's kind of local." Like, oh, well, I'm like, "How much is it for a 4-pack?" For a 4-pack, it was $40.
Yeah, that's dude, that's
No,
like, I mean, 40
no.
is kind of out there. Okay, like I pay about 25 for my 4-packs, and that's for a triple. So
Yeah, that's good. I would do that. But these
yeah,
weren't triples; these were all singles.
yeah, that's
And
a
not
little.
super local either.
Yeah, that's pretty outrageous, I'm not gonna lie. I will say if it was like if they were getting stuff from like Anchorage Brewing in Alaska or somewhere that's hard to get, and they're paying the premium to get it over here, and you really want that brewery, okay, I can see it. I can see it. What up, JG? Hey, I just want to say, anyone that's here right now, you've got to stick around to the Cardano spotlight, because guys, I am going to play a clip of Charles Hoskinson ripping someone apart in his comment section on his AMA yesterday. And so if you don't want to sift through his 3-hour live stream to find the most entertaining part, I'm going to bring it to you. You only have to sit through
JG.
you only have to sit through a rookie quality 1.5 hour live stream to see it. Who knows? Sometimes we've been known to go 2 hours, but the people wanted it. I don't know why, but the people wanted it, man.
Yeah, this kind of looks like a root beer float, Trent. It also kind of has the salted caramel like vibes to it, man. Cheers. You ever seen those cheers pets?
Yeah. Should we announce our partner or no? Or should we wait? Wait for our landing page. Yeah.
Yeah. Can Trent do this with his eyebrows? Okay. Can you move your arms, Apple?
Well, I mean, I have a beard and a sunburn. But anyways, time for the crypto news and crypto charts. You want me to pull up the XRP story, or you got anything for us before we get there?
JG. Cracking them jokes already. You go ahead and lead into your XRP and charts.
All right.
I could
So
take a break. I was charting all up yesterday.
I'll go ahead and share my screen here. And what do we got for the Brew Crew today? We have the news that Twitter has been talking about all day. XRP futures set to launch on CME next month, pending regulatory approval. The move, and this is from Finance Magnets, guys. I think sometimes it's good for us to get out of like nothing but crypto news outlets and see how the rest of the world interprets this, right? So the move followed CME's Chicago Mercantile Exchange recent introduction of Solana futures.
Trent,
So as
can I throw that onto the stage?
Oh, yeah, go. I thought I did. I should have. So guys, up until I believe it's scheduled for it gives the date in here. May 19th. Up until May 19th, next month, the only future crypto futures products on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana products. And XRP futures are set to launch on CME on May 19th. Did I say March? I meant May. XRP is currently trading at $2.21. That was written earlier today, with a 6% gain over the past week. CME Group plans to introduce futures contracts tied to cryptocurrency next. That was a typo or a weird way that they wrote that. Well, they already have futures contracts tied to cryptocurrency. I think they meant to say to the cryptocurrency, talking about XRP. Anyways, pending regulatory clearance, the initiative marks another expansion in CME's push to offer regulated crypto derivatives following its recent Solana futures debut. Ranked number 4 with a market capitalization of $129 billion, the announcement is yet to boost the XRP price. At the time of publication, XRP changed hands for a whopping $2.21, representing a 6% jump in the past week. Targeting regulated derivatives. As innovation in the digital asset landscape continues to evolve, market participants continue to look at regulated derivatives products to manage risks across a wider range of tokens, says Giovanni Vicchioso, global head of cryptocurrency products at CME Group. Interest in XRP and its underlying ledger has steadily increased as institutional and retail adoption for the network grows, and we are pleased to launch these new futures contracts to provide a capital efficient tool set to support clients' investment and hedging strategies, he shared. And here's their tweet starting May 19th. Trade regulated, capital efficient futures on XRP, available in larger and micro sized contracts so you can scale your exposure with greater precision and flexibility. When we come down here, it says, according to the announcement, the new XRP contracts will offer 2 sizing options, 2,500 XRP and 50,000 XRP for both institutional and retail investors. Each contract will be cash settled and based on the CME CF XRP dollar reference rate, which captures a daily benchmark price at 4 p.m. London time. The addition of XRP futures followed rising volume across CME's crypto derivatives. In quarter one, the company reported 141% year-over-year increase in daily average trading volume for crypto futures, reaching 11.3 billion in notional terms. Institutional and retail momentum. JB McKenzie, VP and GM of Futures and International at Robinhood, confirmed that CME's XRP contracts will soon be accessible through Robinhood's mobile platform. Bringing CME Group XRP futures to Robinhood is a natural next step in our mission to expand retail access to futures trading, McKenzie said, noting strong demand for diversified crypto trading options. This push coincides with the increased capital flowing into XRP related products. The Ethereum 2x daily long XRP ETF reportedly reached 35 million in assets under management within its first 10 trading days recently. Built to facilitate fast, low-cost cross-border transfers, XRP's practical use case appears to be drawing serious attention. The XRP ledger's architecture enables real-world applications that are increasingly relevant in institutional finance. With its May 19th launch date approaching, CME Group is positioning XRP futures as the next major step in its cryptocurrency trade strategy, a calculated play to meet demand and offer sophisticated tools for a rapidly evolving market. What do you guys think about that?
That's pretty
Um,
wild. I thought it was kind of funny that they were like, this news is what brought it up 6% for us last week. I was like, I think it was all the other stuff that happened in the
yeah,
market that raised it. I don't think it was this news specifically, though. It didn't. I mean, of course, it's going to help, but
yeah. On Tuesday, I think it did kind of, it's hard to tell how correlated it was, but the price pump for XRP up to $2.28 on Tuesday was kind of, coinciding with the announcement of Coinbase XRP futures. So, you know, those going live were pretty big. I think that this is big too. I think it'll be bigger on May 19th when they're live on the CME group, you know.
I mean, it's
Um,
futures. It's not spot yet.
right, correct. That right. The spot ETF is the biggest thing that we're waiting for.
This is the second
Um,
one, right? Because what, 2 weeks ago I was reading about the 2X ETF that
yeah,
was
the
coming out.
Tcrium 2X ETF,
Yeah,
right, right.
yeah.
And
Which I'm not sure how
that
big a company Tcrium is, though.
well, but it sure is funny that like we're seeing these products rolling out one after another. It really does seem like it's kind of staged for um everyone to kind of go up to the batting plate and then the spot ETF drives the home run. You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah,
why I'm using a baseball analogy. I don't watch baseball, but
yeah, you do. You love baseball. You were telling me
no.
all about the freaking torpedo bat last week.
What?
Yeah,
That is not code, guys.
that's not
Anyways,
good.
I think the Tcrium 2X ETF. I like that, and I think that it's an important development. Reason why is because this does exist on some exchanges. I was actually looking at it on BidFi the other day. You can buy 2X leveraged tokens with no liquidation risk, which is pretty interesting. Um, And, the thing about CME Futures Group or CME Group futures products is that there are certain institutions that, because of the present regulation, can't go to normal crypto exchanges to buy.
Really?
And really, and, you know, because of that, and they can't go there to buy corporately, I mean, but because of that, these CME products offer certain institutional investors a way to get exposure, um, to the movement without going to spot crypto exchanges. Uh, you know,
Yeah,
there is that certain demographic of retail that exists. It's not a lot, and they're definitely a strange breed, but there's some boomers out there, and I don't mean that in a like a mean way. I just mean there are some boomers out there that, you know, what they know is their brokered account. Um their traditional brokered account. And if they're being offered, an XRP product in that brokered account, there are some people that will take advantage of that on a TradFi product. It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
it's a double-edged sword. Like, in terms of the ethos, we want people buying on spot and holding in their holding self custody, but but the more exposure, the better. So, you know,
Yep.
let my dog in real quick.
No, it's all good, man. we're gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna plop my thing on there. Can you guys say plop with me? Plop,
Bop.
plop, 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 plop. This is what I was gonna share. Mine's not as long as yours. I was just gonna say, press release: Federal Reserve Board announces the withdrawal of guidance for banks related to their crypto asset and dollar token activities and related changes to its expectations for these activities. Well, I think this is pretty big news, because yeah, it's pretty small, but just telling you that the banks now are going to be able to get involved. And due to my nature of what I do for a living, I'm in a lot of neighborhoods, and I must have went to this neighborhood. It's totally gated, but all rich people have to get their garbage picked up. And this guy must have bought a $20 million house, and he was out there moving with his wife, and he brought me a Gatorade. And he's like, "Hey, I got some extra stuff. Can I throw it in?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, no problem." So he chucks it in. Then I looked at him and I said, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And he basically said, layman terms, is that he's a rich guy's financial advisor. And I was talking to him about crypto, and I asked him a little bit about XRP. And this is before the lawsuit even ended. This is a year and a half ago or so. And I said, "Do you think the world's going to go to crypto?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Do you think they're going to use XRP?" And he also said no. So he is eating those words right now. I think,
Joke's on him.
yeah, he said that we talked a little bit briefly about how I think Chase Bank had at the time basically used their own stable coin or something along those lines. But I was all like, dude, XRP, man, it's the future. You should get in on it. Like, just because you adapt or you fall behind, and the fact that the world is changing, you didn't recognize it, is pretty wild. And now you can see the banks are catching on to it. Now they're going to have to play catch up. So that's going to be pretty big.
Yes, sir.
You want to slap us up with your charts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do.
Slap us with
Share
it.
this tab instead and throw it on the screen. And it's time to slap the Bruce Crew with some charts. Let's go.
You should check out actually, I'll tell you. Well, I'll just show you. I was going to say the DXY is pulling a green dot, which does the opposite of what Bitcoin does.
Right. Oh, are you showing it, or you going to show it?
No, it's all you, man.
Got you. Okay, so on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, coming in, the current price at $92,887.01. On the weekly chart, we came up and wicked to this huge volume node here on the weekly at $95,000 even. Well, it ended up like 94.
Hey, Trent.
Yeah.
Your hat's a little crooked. It's nothing wrong. It's just
Oh.
I'm focused on it.
Okay. There we go. So we wicked right up to that huge volume node right there on the VRVP, VPVR, however you want to say it.
Yeah, we did.
The visible range of the volume profile. And this is going to be big resistance right here. As soon as we crack it, I'm expecting to go straight to all-time highs. I mean, well, I don't want to underestimate these, bumps in the road right here. But, day to day, it's not going to feel straight there. But, over the course of a week or two, it's going to feel straight there,
Oh yeah.
And who knows? Maybe in a couple of days it does just pierce it. I wouldn't necessarily want it to. But one more second.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Anyways, coming down to, well, I want to say this too. On this weekly candle right here,
What's up, Charles? Welcome in.
Punched through that 21 EMA, the white line, sitting right on top of my yellow horizontal line of resistance. Also, on the weekly, the RSI, the purple line, is crossing the yellow line down here, and We're only at 56 on the RSI on the weekly, guys. On the weekly. That means we have a lot of room to run. We have 14 points to move, to get to 70 on the weekly chart. Our peak up here at these points, this is showing that we can.
What's it mean, chat, when it highlights green on this RSI?
It means that it's like further indicating to you, it's screaming at you that it's overbought. And so, we can get up to 90, guys, on the RSI before we top. It all depends. I think it's coming back down again. I feel you. I feel you. We're gonna get into that. Coming down to also on the weekly, the red volume on the MACD is thinning down here, and we're not gonna cross the 0 line on the weekly, which means, like, guys, and we know this already. Like, we're not entering a new bear market or anything like that. We retested the previous high, the top of the bear flag back here in March of 2024, and we're not piercing below that and starting some new downtrend. We're maintaining higher highs and bouncing from there. If you look on the MACD, it correlates with this. We're not crossing underneath the 0 line. We're curving back up on the MACD, and in some time, in a couple weeks or so, this blue MACD line is going to cross the signal line, the orange line right here, which means new bull trend. Right now, coming down to the 3-day chart. More of the same. And as a matter of fact, there's a couple mixed signals right here. And to Charles's point, that we may be coming back down, I think that once we get down to the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, that's what we're going to see. And on the RSI, you do have it, bending down right here a little bit, and I can see it kind of coming down here. But look at the MACD. Look at how close the blue MACD line is to the 0 line. And the 0 line is the horizontal line that goes right down the center of the green and red volume bars on the MACD. Look at how close that blue line is to the 0 line on the 3-day chart. It's about to cross. Plus we had bullish divergence on the 3-day chart, and that's still in the early phases of the bounce playing out from that. Coming down to the 1-day chart. This is where we want to factor in some kind of cool off, starting on the 1-day chart. The thing is, the RSI started approaching 70, and what happened? It curved down. The MACD does not seem like it wants to reverse course or anything. It may come sideways a little bit and then move back up. Guys, this can happen one of two ways. This can cool off by coming back down. It is very far away from the 21 EMA. And that is unsustainable. I will say that. It is unsustainable. Even on the downtrend, look what happens. Over here on February 28th, look how far we got underneath the 21 EMA. Look how far below the white line we got. What happens? We come back up to meet it. It's a magnet. The 21 EMA is a magnet, whether you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. But this can happen one of two ways. It can just fall straight back down to meet it, which I think is unlikely. Or the price can flag out for a few more days, which lines up with what we see on the 3-day chart, right? The 3-day chart is bullish, guys. The MACD, the MACD line is about to cross the 0 line soon. This can flag out for several more days, and meanwhile, the white line, the 21 EMA, will gradually come up closer to the price as it flags out. Then, it still may not even come down to meet it. It could sort of pump up again and then come back down later to meet it. So there's different ways that can play out for sure. Let's come down to the 4-hour chart. See, on the 4-hour, we already, if you count this wick down here, because sometimes it's not an exact touch. If you count this wick down here, we already sort of retested the 21 EMA on the 4-hour. Also, let me come back down. Let me come back to the daily real quick. I want to draw a new line of support.
Draw it, Trent. Draw that line of support.
We got a horizontal line right here, and I'm gonna put it.
You see a bull flag, Charles? Or are you calling for a bull flag? Bull flag. Bull flag.
I'm gonna put it.
I think he's projecting one
here. So you see, we have touch points. We have. Hey,
what up, Jordan? Crack-a-lackin', man. 3 days in a row. I got some pretty interesting stuff.
Cheers.
To share
Cheers to that. So look, this line right here, we have touch points on candle closes and on wicks. I mean, we have right here. Let me just count them. 1. I'll group these as 1. I'll group these as 2. Why not? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's being, that was being a little generous. You could count it as more than that, depending on how you count it.
A lot of views on the video.
So, guys, like, I don't know, man. Like this, if it comes down 91.5. What did I say on Tuesday? What did I say on Tuesday when we were here?
Man, I don't even know what I had for dinner yesterday.
I said 91.6. 91.6. And what happened? The next day, look at this. Let me expand it. Look at this wick. 91.6. I don't know. If we come back down, I think that we bounce off that level again. That's what I think. I don't know. We definitely could come lower, but this looks like a flagpole to me. It looks like it wants to. Let me pull my trend lines. And this is what I. Who was saying bull flag? GJ or JG?
Yeah. No. Charles.
Oh, Charles. Yeah.
Charles. I went and played poker, and I invited my buddy I was telling you about named Charles. And he always, as long as I've known him, he's gone by Charles. And we're sitting there playing poker, and he's never met these guys before. And they're like, "Hey, what do you want to go by, Charles or Chuck?" He goes, "Oh, you call me Chuck." I was like, afterwards, I was like, "Charles, you hate being called Chuck." Like, yeah, I know, but I just panicked.
So, it can flag out, and sometimes this flag can last a little while. And what's the bottom of the range of the flag? If this flag was going to materialize, the bottom of the range of the flag,
well, he was a gay dude, so
the bottom range of this flag is 91.5, 91.6, just like we were saying. So that's what I see. I see it ranging in this flag, which means you can probably, for the next couple days, I'd be careful. I wouldn't do it too much. But for the next couple days, it means you can probably short at resistance and long at support, right? Then we come down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, we got what we needed. Not quite, not quite. We have some work to do, but we got what we needed, a cool off on the RSI up here.
And,
It's I'm looking for it to come down back down into the 50s.
and Jordan, we're going to broad news today. We'll do some TA. Trent's doing his TA first. We went over some XRP news. We went over some Fed news about regulations being dropped on banks, or not regulations, but they have more clarity for the banks to have more access to cryptocurrencies. And then Trent went over some XRP news. We have some Cardano spotlights today. We
And we have
have
an epic Cardano spotlight today.
an epic Cardano spotlight.
And we're
And
catching
we
some
got
8.5% auto round.
T Square's treasures. I'm gonna bring up some stuff I found today. It's gonna be pretty snappy.
Wanted to stay chill till then, slightly up. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So on the 4 hour chart, I can see one of two things right here. This could be like an inverse head and shoulders, but it looks too narrow for that. What I'm hoping is that we kind of like W pattern this before we break out, but who knows?
Trent,
Also,
do you reckon we're gonna run the next 25 days? So
yeah,
when I was watching some other guys pull some technical analysis on like time frames from the previous cycle, they said from like the measures from the green dots like previously, and they said the second week of May is when they're projecting for us to snap.
hell yeah,
Like Trent was saying,
hell yeah,
snap up the upside. That
yeah,
also might snap Bitcoin dominance too, because that sucker is full.
yeah, yeah.
A blockchain back I was watching today, he said, and he was looking at the dominance. He said when it breaks, he said it's going to be vicious and fast.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
it
a lot
will.
of money.
Look at the 21 EMA on the 4 hour. Where confluence, guys, where is this lining up with? The bottom of a potential bull flag that we're forming. So, guys, I think we're flagging out. I don't think we're and my red horizontal line of support right here. You guys reckon? Yeah, heck yeah. So yeah, confluence. I don't think we're getting a big dump. I think we're flagging out. Coming down to the 1 hour. We are coming underneath the 21 EMA. That's fine. It's on the 1 hour. It goes under and above it all the time. So that being said, we will probably come back down over the next 12 hours or so to the bottom of the bull flag, find support, and move up. Which, how much room do you have on the RSI really on the 1 hour to get down here, right? So, also the volume support is coming in, right here, coming down to the 15-minute chart. And we hopefully we find support above the 21 or above the 200 EMA and make these sort of higher lows here. We have some volume support coming in just above the 200 EMA. So be looking for that. It also seems like the RSI is wanting to bottom. Coming down to the 7-minute chart, even more signs of bottoming. I'd be looking for this to come back to the 21 EMA. If I was scalping right now, I would bet on the price coming up to touch the 21 EMA. So, finally, the 1-minute chart. See, we've bottomed here. We've gotten above the 21 EMA, and I think we get back to the 200 EMA, which coincides with we're also, crossing the zero line on the MACD. And if we come back to the 200 EMA, that coincides with the 21 EMA on the 7-minute chart. They're sitting at the exact same spot, which tells me it's going to go there. If I was scalping right now, that's what I would do. I would long to the 21 EMA and I would close that long, and then reevaluate from there. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. What else are you thinking today?
Yeah, dude, I'll jam through it real fast with for our audience. I'm gonna pull your screen off. Slap mine on there. Slap mine on there. Okay. Well, first thing I got is the DXY. Where the frick was that green freaking dot I saw? There it is on the 1 hour. We have a 1 hour green dot on the DXY, which is technically bearish sign for Bitcoin. That's all I wanted to show you on the DXY. Now we go into Bitcoin, and I'm gonna laugh because I literally was talking to you guys last night as we were trading, and I'm gonna shrink this up. And I called this last night as like a fad Jesus take the wheel, if you guys recall that. And what's really interesting, I mean, look at it. Look how well that played up. You could have made that trade. You would have ran that all the way up. And if you really wanted to, you could almost say, the 12-minute. This is also could be almost a slightly slanted Jesus take the wheel like pattern. And you could have even played that one, shorted it, and you'd be in the red green. You'd be in the red, but it would be pretty green because it's a short. So red green. What we like to see. We like to make money up or down. We want to be here to make the money. And on the 1 hour, like how we all look at the DXY, right, guys? We look at the DXY. So on the 24-minute, we have Jesus take the wheel to the downside. On the 1 hour, it almost looks like we have a double top right here. And not only that, but we got some sort of weird loss of a momentum here. You could kind of draw this trend. I don't know if we have divergence. You'd have to really want to get technical. I think you might if you follow that white line. No, we have convergence.
It's too flat.
It's too flat. A double top. Regardless, I would not say that's a great sign with a double top. Plus with loss of momentum with an possible anchor trigger wave to the downside. That's on the 1 hour, and we expand up to the 4 hour. I don't know what this pattern really is, but if I was a betting man, I wouldn't be nervous about longing it because of the shape it's generally in. And like I said, it's almost like a double top. It's nothing really telling you that we're going to be going up anytime soon with a like trigger wave or anything like that on the 4 hour. Jump to the 12 hour. We're still way in the oversold. The good news is we're above the 90-80. So it might take a couple of whacks to bring us down, which probably means a whack will be like down to like 90K, like where we've been predicting, trying to project out there. The daily, it's kind of blue oscillator waves are starting to roll over on top of each other, which is a little bit of a bearish sign. We're still in the over sold territory, so that's good. Strength's still kind of high, but it still needs something else to kind of bring it to give it excitement, I guess. And the dominance is the dominance. It's just so hype, man. But you got green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. I would say it's angling down to go down. What's some other stuff? I was looking at Bitcoin too. Was I on the 6-minute earlier? I was just looking at stuff when we were talking earlier. Scroll. Another thing too, you could almost say we've been talking about, like when you get a lot of misfiring dots, even on the lower time frame, they tend to play out in the direction of the oscillator wave is curving to. So like, you had green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot. And yeah, it may have went down slightly, but then you got the Jesus take the wheel and you would have got all your gains back and continued. And you got red dot, green dot, red dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. And then you got the dip. So I was just wanted to point that out too. This is on the lower time frames. Was there anything on the 6-minute that we were looking at? I don't think so. But because Jordan's here, we're going to run over SPX 6900 because it is the meme coin of the cycle, he tells me. We are excited for it to go up. And the good news is that we got an anchor wave coming over here. And it looks like the VWAP starting to come to the upside. And the money flow might make a little bounce. Actually, I call this the money flow.
I thought SNEC was the meme coin of this cycle.
What?
I thought SNEC was the meme coin of this cycle.
Oh, it could be. I thought it was Cardano. And so technically the green wave isn't actually money flow. I technically call it that, but what it is transaction. So it's saying there's a lot of transactions interacting with SPX 6900. So the transactions are slowing down into the red. So we might get a little dip to slingshot us up in the upside, which we got an anchor wave, trigger wave on the 12 minute. 12 minute's not, large support, but we do have that, which is a good sign to see. So we have a red X on the 24 minute. It's not super crazy. It's not confirmed yet. We have another 12 minutes to confirm it. With the bullishness on the 12 minute, this could actually disappear. We have bearish divergence still on the 24 minute for XPX. Today a day.
Thank you for being in the chat. I haven't seen you here. I just want to tell you, it would touch
5
Tyler
EMAs.
right in his heart if you subscribe to the channel.
Yellow, red,
Also, do you
white.
guys like my new?
They don't look too far apart. They were really, really far apart over here. Like it's almost like they're getting tighter. At least on the market cipher ones, they are getting tighter. We go to the 1 hour on SPX. I immediately, I don't know, you guys see the flag that I'm looking at, but looks like to me it's going to be respecting these trends. That's just what I immediately see. I do hope that SPX hits 100x to 300x, what Jordan was talking about. But I'm very much I don't like to project numbers. I just look at the charts and I go off that. Very very rarely do I make something up. What I call XRP at $19.27. There's an 8-year chart pattern that is not commonly used that calls for that.
Yes.
So anyways, going down to finish on XPX, is there some sort of hidden bullish divergence off this little wave to big wave?
What time frame are you on? Hour.
The 1 hour on SPX 6900. And while you look at
so hidden,
it almost looks like hidden bullish divergence, but that one always gets me. I'm not the master at that one. We're on the 4 hour. Jesus, take the wheel.
Hidden divergence would be a higher low on the oscillator and the price.
Well, the good news is on SPX, look at the blue oscillator wave. Like it was like wanting to curve into itself, and it was like, oh, freeze, we're not going bearish. That's when, and then you kind of see you get the screen going up, and somehow it traded sideways just enough to hit oversold. So it could technically, and it's itself going up. Wow, that is a big Jesus take the wheel on the 12 hour. Wow, you could have caught the bottom of that. Oof. You would have literally caught the bottom. That would have been fantastic, dude. You want to make some money to check out the longer time frame sometimes, right? Right? Am I right?
Hey, my 7-minute chart's pumping, guys. What did I just say? I mean, we might get a bullish engulfing candlestick here if it closes above. RSI just crossed purple line and above the yellow, and the MACD is curving up. I don't know.
I drew this trend line on this little triangle right here, on like the 1 hour. But if you chart it out, it actually, without looking, it actually went above this trend line and it goes straight into the next volume node of support, the POC. Oh, nice. That's kind of interesting, Colin, 70 cents SPX 6900 within a week. I'm gonna give it a week.
Where can you buy it? Where can you buy it?
SPX 6900?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Where can you buy it?
I don't know. I don't have any interest in buying it.
You can buy it Mexi, Bybit, KuCoin.
Oh, okay.
Gate.io, Bitmart, BingXCrypto.com, Kraken.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So there's
another thing I want. Oh, go ahead.
I bet you Jordan's not even in here, and we're talking about his coin. He's gonna come back and be like, "Dude, you guys didn't go over my coin." Yes, we did. Can we
Um,
do it? Yes, we
are
can.
you still charting for the moment, or?
No, I'm done. Unless you
Okay.
want me to go into something else.
No, you're good. I will show a new development in the Brew Crew community. Let's see. Share this tab
Multiverse
instead.
X is up 22%.
Guys, we have our Blockchain Brew Twitter.
I really like what Charles said with the charts to top it off. He's right though. You know, charts alpha is better than bowls of hopium.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, we are live on Twitter right now. We have our Blockchain Brew Twitter up and rolling. Thank you, Sarah. And hey, we're
Shout
educating
out
our
to
audience.
Sarah.
Shout out. We're educating our audience. Cheers to Sarah, guys. Cheers to Sarah.
Cheers to Sarah. We all love Sarahs.
Everyone knows a Sarah. Sarahs are usually non-problematic, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. um, so we're educating our audience about Bitcoin and crypto assets, participating in the next iteration of finance and the internet, sipping craft beer and enjoying life. Guys, we don't take ourselves too seriously around here. So, we're posting, growing, go follow us over on look, there's Tyler on a short. Go give us a follow on X. And how about that? There's just a couple tweaks I want on it, but how about that profile pic?
We're gonna get mannequins made out of that, out of wax.
So where are we moving to next? We move into Tyler's treasures.
Yeah, well, T-squares trinkets.
T-squares trinkets. There we
Yeah,
go. All right.
yeah. We'll go into my trinkets. All right, you guys got 30 seconds for me to go get it.
30 seconds for me to chug this, you mean?
Yeah, no, 30 seconds for me to get it. All right,
Yes.
I'll go get it. All right, I got it. Oh, you thought I had to get up? No, I just had to take a sip of my beer before I went across it. Any guesses?
I can't guess because you got too excited and you told me.
I know. All right, guys, here it is. Yes, it is a baton of insanity. And guess what? I found this in the garbage by accident. I actually saw a watch, and I got out to go look at the watch. And I looked down. I was like, "Hey, look at that!" And I tested this out. Hope I don't hurt myself. I think it turns on, and it is a Sparky. Who wants to be a volunteer?
Here you go.
Let me prattle stamp you. Prattle stamp you, Trent.
Dude, why would someone throw that out? That's so cool.
I don't know. But I definitely, believe it or not, this is like steel or something, and it would hurt to get hit with. And then top being smacked with the spike clubs, and then get shocked on the ground repeatedly. Like, I'll teach you a lesson to mug me in the middle of the night. You thought you were just gonna get your ass beat. No. I'm gonna make you piss yourself too.
Bro, where I live, you need to take that to Walmart.
Yeah. You're like the homeless people with sword fighting in the parking lot over the stolen toilet paper.
Dude.
Well, should I get my other thing or no?
Sure. Or you can tell us.
Oh, it's no fun just telling.
All right. While he's grabbing it, I'll see exactly how fast I can come back over here to the 7-minute chart and see how my play is working out. Share this tab instead. Guys, I just said what I would do if I was scalping. Now right here, I would be a little bit in profits from where I made the call, and I can always reassess right here. but I don't know. The RSI is peaking above the purple line above the yellow line. The MACD is curving up. I could move my stop loss up into profit at this point. So, like I said, I thought that was coming back up
Charles
to the
is
21 EMA.
sparkling.
And, I know that it's, look, I saw this bottoming right here on the RSI and on the MACD. I don't think it was, and it's pumping up right now. Look, look, look. See, you could, if you were being conservative, you could close your trade right here at the 200 EMA at the red line or just below. You could close right now and profit if you wanted to. That's how I scalp, if I was scalping right now, to be honest, right now I would probably be, depending on my size and my leverage, I'd probably be closing my position because I'd get a little excited, even though I do think that we're, gonna come back up to meet this. Anyways, back to your other fine. Let me take myself off the screen.
This one's a
I
little
was
hard
just
to because
trail of the stop loss. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's right.
So,
Right.
yeah, and not broken, guys. Look, you can see Trent in the screen. Got a nice wooden vinyl thing, giant mirror, not broken, completely whole, and it is a beautiful. I always like looking at myself. Now you guys can look at Trent, looking at Trent. Trent cheers to himself. That's how we do
Cheers.
it. When I'm not here, I just get a mirror.
Nice. Well, I wonder if it's time for one of the most epic Cardano spotlights that the Brew Crew has seen so far. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll share my screen again and come over here to let's see, I wrote my timestamps down here. 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 33 seconds.
My
2
dogs
hours.
didn't like the taser. They all got spooked. They were like, what's that snappy sound? The streets provide trail the stop loss. You will find all sorts of stuff on San Francisco garbage route, dude. I believe that. I'm still waiting for Trent to upload the video of me throwing, not me, somebody throwing somebody out at work.
Let me see here. So, can you see? You can see my screen on YouTube.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, you can.
Why'd you ask?
So, I'm gonna play this, guys. This is 6 minutes long. I know it's long, but look, Charles Hoskinson had a 3-hour live stream, 3.5-hour live stream, and I am bringing you guys the absolute most entertaining part of this live stream. It's gonna be a little bit slow at first, okay? But if you bear with it, like, guys, you are going to have the best laugh that you had all day. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And we can always pause. What we'll do, Tyler, if at any point you want to react to it and comment, and just tell me to pause, and then we'll do it like that. Okay.
Okay.
Let me play.
You forgot to mention you're a self-made billionaire, you narcissist.
You can hear that.
I'm proud of something I've achieved and accomplished that's relevant when we talk about business. Yeah. It's like you talk about medicine. You're like, well, I'm a doctor. Let's talk about medicine. Gives you a little.
Pay attention to this guy, Big Arms, in the chat. Charles Hoskinson is going to rip this guy apart.
Credibility in the conversation about medicine. You talk about business, being a self-made billionaire gives you a little bit of credibility when you talk about business strategy. You fucking idiot.
He's gonna pause for a minute. It's gonna take him a minute, but he's gonna get Big Arms
his
back
response.
Ay.
It seems anticlimactic right now, but trust me, it gets way better than that.
Don't compare yourself to legit endeavors. You should be investigated. You're a bad guy. This is the world we live in. Because you get to decide. You get to decide what's real, what's not real. You get to decide what on coin market cap is meaningful, what's legit cryptocurrency, what's not legit. Every metric you look at, EDI for decentralization, we look good. Code, diversity, all decentralized governance, all this stuff. Everything we said we were going to do, we did. We grew organically. But no, you get to decide what's legit, what's not legit. They never tell me the scam, too. You're a scam artist. What's the scam? What is the scam? Objectively speaking, what's the scam? You got the whole audience here. 15,000 people are listening right now, big arms. Right now, they're listening to you. They're there. You got the audience. You misled people every step of the way. Give me a specific.
Also, dude, what a profile pic of like of an
Big
avatar
arms.
just curling these weights. Like why didn't you, if you're gonna be big arms, why didn't you put yourself like curling some 50-pound dumbbells, bro?
Specific thing. Did we not do Byron? We did Byron. Did we not do Shelley? We did Shelley. Did we not do Gauguin? We did Gauguin. Did we not do Voltaire? We did Voltaire. Are we not currently finishing up Basho? We finished up Basho. We got a plan for that. We're doing it. So where's the scam? Where's the scam? Is it not decentralized?
Hell yeah.
Is there not DREPs? Do we
Get
not
'em,
have the hardware
Charles.
combinator? Have we not been running for over 2,200 days, nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Not process billions and billions of transactions and hundreds of billions of dollars of value flow inside the system? That are not happening. People cannot build dApps on Cardano. Does Iagon not exist? Does World Mobile not exist? Does Sunday Swap not exist? Does MinSwap not exist? Does Hosky not exist? Does SNEC not exist? What's the scam? Come on. Where is it? What is the scam? Where is it at? All the people that put the money down to make it happen, they're happy. Launch, it's liquid. It's on hundreds of exchanges. It's been the top 10 for all these years. So what is the scam? You got us all here, big arms. You're here. You own this audience. Tell us what the scam is. What is it? Adoption in Africa. So we're not in Kenya. There's not Cardano representation in Nigeria. Cardano representation. What about all the African delegates that came to the Constitutional Convention? We had a whole parallel convention in Kenya.
I want to say one thing about that. If you notice on the guy's comment, he says adoption in Africa, you claimed, like you claimed, which pumped ADA to over $3, pal. He adds the pal at the end. Guys, like adoption, the concept of adoption in Africa did not pump Cardano to over $3. Guys, the only people in 2021 that cared about Cardano in Africa was the dedicated Cardano, the loyal Cardano community. No one else cared about Africa and Cardano. They should, because we should care about people outside of our own insulated first world problems. Like we should care. But, you know, by and large, nobody cared about that. What pumped ADA to $3 was the announcement and the anticipation of smart contracts going live on Cardano in September. That's what pumped it to $3. Not all of the talk about like Cardano's work in Africa. Like that's really important. And if you're a Cardano community member, you love that. But guys, it's not what pumped Cardano to $3. Anyways.
They don't exist, says you? We've been trying for years to do these types of things. Huge Cardano community in Nigeria, huge community in Kenya, even in Ethiopia, where they hate crypto, huge community there.
Check out what he says next. Kind of wild.
We're not in Africa. We're Africa. What's John O'Connor doing? What's RealFi doing? What's World Mobile doing? What are these people doing? The D-reps who are African, they don't exist, so saith you. They're not human beings, so saith you. They're not representing their community. Mercy, she doesn't exist. Oh, she's inconvenient. Your Artem. Okay, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, big arms. Let's go. It's a bereft of accountability. People just say these things again and again. You're a scam. You've done this. You've done this. Business is hard, you motherfucking idiot. It changes. Things occur. Macroeconomics. We lived through COVID. We lived through multiple administrations. We lived through Biden literally trying to kill the entire cryptocurrency industry. He sued every exchange. He said everything but Bitcoin's a security, but don't worry, we'll get to that too through environmentalist policy. Debanked everybody. And for 4 fucking years, we lived through that. We lived through wars. Imagine going to Ethiopia where you have a signed deal from the Ministry of Education.
This part's crazy.
And you're working your ass off to try to deliver the deal. They said, we need to re-sign the deal because there's a new minister. And the TPLF is 100 miles away from the capital where they're actively talking about conscripting people to fight in an urban war at Addis Ababa. And you fly into the country just to re-sign the fucking deal and they still don't pay you. That's how fucking motivated you are. And then you have this piece of shit say, you're a scam. Listen to excuses. These stuff. There aren't any excuses. We're here. We exist. We have a community. There's 16,000 people listening. Where's your live stream with your 16,000 people listening? Oh, that's right. You don't have one. You crept into mine to go ahead and try to co-opt it, to tell everybody in the whole world how small you are. Because you've achieved nothing. And when you die, you'll achieve nothing. And no one will remember your name. Big arms, small dick.
Wait. Did you hear the last line?
Big arms, no dick.
Big arms, small dick. Bro. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's just Charles being Charles. He's being funny.
Dude, like, let me get this off the screen real quick. There we go. Man, like, to be honest though, like, I think it's important. Like, you know, people say this stuff, and especially about Cardano, like, they get it. It just seems to attract that sort of trollish behavior. And I do think, like, you know, it obviously gets under Charles' skin, like, at times, you know, but it's his life's work. You know, it'd get under, you know, yours or my skin too. But man, like, it's a good point that Charles is making, is like, where's the scam? Like, compared to any other coin on the market, like, you look at the roadmap, you look at the eras. He said, did we not do Byron? Did we not do Shelley? Did we not do Gauguin? Did we not do Voltaire? Like, what hasn't been delivered on? All the way to decentralized government. Arguably the hardest part of the roadmap. You know, the next part, Basho, is you could argue that it's the hardest part. Scaling, speed, Cardano becoming as every bit as fast as Solana without sacrificing decentralization, and scaling past all of these platforms that just, like, rush to market, get something out, you know? Like, Cardano's never been first to market. But I do believe, in terms of layer 1 smart contract platforms, it's always going to be best to market. Now, that being said, the future of the market is interoperable. There's room for everyone at the table. There's room for SWI at the table, especially, like, SWI is going to be. I don't think one thing I don't think we realize about SWI often enough is that it's going to be bigger in gaming than Avalanche is. Like, gaming on SWI is going to absolutely pop if not this year, then in the next cycle. But there's room for everyone at the table. I'm just saying, like, Cardano's always going to be best, not first to market, but best to market in terms of ethos, in terms of values, and in terms on delivering on promises. So, I agree with everything Charles was saying. Like, the big arm, small dick thing was just for fun and laughs.
You enjoyed that, didn't you, Trent?
I did. So how you feeling? What do you think?
Oh, I was just looking at, Bitcoin being Bitcoin. I didn't realize that the CME gap closed and we filled it.
Yeah.
12 minute, like run straight down, peek, touched it. Like
Hey, I gotta share this tab real quick. What did I say on the 7-minute chart? I said that I would, if I was scalping, I would long it to the 21 EMA. Where'd we go? White line, 21 EMA. Let's go.
Now you'd short it.
Well, would I? Let me see. Let me see.
We're in a downtrend.
Let me see. I would close it. I would close that trade for sure. Even though it is peaking above it, I would close that trade. Man, I don't know though. The MACD is like crossing down here. I would close it and wait for a couple more candles to close above the 21 EMA. That's what I would do. I would close it and wait for we're on the 7-minute. I would wait for one more candle close above the 20 EMA and see if we can't push up here. Because what it's either going to do is successfully make a higher high and keep moving up, or it's going to make a lower high.
Charles says trail stop loss sign, don't close it.
Trail stop loss, don't close it. That's true. Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that one. I will say I was right about the 21 EMA though. Like, that thing works. Don't get me wrong. You have to have confluence. Like, my confluence was the fact that RSI bottomed right here really hard and MACD was curving up. That was my confluence. But the 21 EMA thing works. Like, the 21 EMA is a magnet. But yeah, Charles, I think you're absolutely right. Like, trailing stop loss, keep it open. Because right now we're peaking above it. And it's going to continue. And I'm, again, it's either going to successfully make a higher high, or it's going to make a higher, or it's going to make a lower high and then continue lower. So, so you can keep it open, trail the stop loss, and run it up higher, probably. We just need that next candle to close to see, if we're holding above the 21 EMA. So, yeah. Money flow just crossing. Nice. I need to get Market Cipher. The thing is, I've looked at, Lux Algo for a while. I looked at BitBoy's High IQ for a while, and honestly, more than anything, I ended up really, for my own self, I like looking at just the raw stuff on TradingView, the raw, EMAs, Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, and volume profile. Like, it's I have a system that I like to roll with, and I've come to like it. I need to learn Market Cipher though. I do. It's king. It's king for a reason. and I gotta just bite the bullet and learn it.
Or you could just switch to hiking and she candles.
Yeah, man. So what are you thinking? How you feeling? You got anything for us, or are we
I'm in
wrapping up?
currently I'm in a short on Bitcoin. I put a limit short in at 783 $783. So I did 10x leverage and I'm up 10% right now. And I was trying to decide what I should do because the 6 minute and 12 minute saying that it could go up a little bit and possibly do a fake out. And the 1 hour is still rocking bearish divergence. Oh, I'm looking at PopCat. And then let me go back to Bitcoin. I put a limit order short in on PopCat. And we'll see if it fills or not. But don't. And Bitcoin, it doesn't have any bearish divergence. I just think that it could go down still. Like where am I at? Like the green wave is coming down, so the transactions are slowing down for the moment. And usually the last third of the green wave to the half of the red wave is like bearish, or the last third of the green wave to like it goes down.
You got like that V on the candles. You got like that V shape happening right now, though. Like it could keep going. Yeah, it could go down, but like it could turn into a W pattern.
Yeah, I don't think so. It could, but even if it does turn into W, I don't think it's going to go above this. Or if it's a W, it'll just go right back up.
Well, it's a W. It'll break what's turning into your line that you drew could be turning into a neckline that it's going to break.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
That's not bearish divergence, and it's hard to say it's a double top either because it's pretty narrow.
Yeah, and I don't really want to say this is Jesus take the wheel, but it almost kind of has that pattern. But the blue oscillator waves kind of act kind of funny, so I don't know it well enough to say if this unverifies itself. But if it is, then I would expect to come down a little bit more before closing on the oscillator waves. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I might end up closing it because I don't really want to sleep on it. I'm in the positive. And then I put a short in on PopCat, but I think I might have missed it, so I might close it out. We'll see. I put a short in at, I wanted to wick and fill at 3.8 right here, but I don't know if it's going to fill or not. Maybe it'll come up and fill it, but I was like looking at it. We got the bearish divergence coming in, the money flow going down, VWAP coming down in the 1 hour. The 4 hour also has the bearish divergence. It hasn't confirmed, but it looks like it's going to confirm with using the 1 hour. The 1 hour, it confirmed, which if it goes down, it will also confirm on the 4 hour larger time frame. So, and the daily has not rolled over, but if we keep an eye on it, you just keep an eye on the 4 hour. The 4 hour will tell you what the daily will do, if you need to get out of it or not. And the 24 minute, it's just, I don't know. VWAP really far down, blue waves coming down slowly. Red X means short. As long as you don't get a doji candle or anything, like I said, I'm not even in this trade technically. Reason I put it in where I put it in at is because we had a green dot and it looked like it was curving up. So I was hoping it would catch some momentum and go up to fill me. I think my order is right. It's right here. So it's on the 24 minute. It just has to come up a little bit and it'll fill it. But I think this is going to be a fake out. This looks like it's flat from a bullish trend to a bearish trend. And so I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
I forgot PopCat existed.
I know AJ really like trading it.
Right. I was just gonna say, who loved trading PopCat like 6 months ago was AJ.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah. He had some killer calls on it though.
Yeah. Chill.
It almost made me want to like get into his trading group, but no. We
You see what I see,
Tyler and I haven't even talked about this yet, but we're gonna roll out a trading group here soon enough that that I think is going to be killer, and it's going to be absolutely free. And it's not going to be mine and Tyler's calls either. It's going to be, aggregated calls from traders that are way better than us, trading way more volume than us. And it's going to be, it's going to be provided through BidFi, and it's going to be absolutely free for members of our community. So, but Tyler and I will talk more about that, before we make it official. But
What do you think of that, Trent? This bullish divergence. I had to really kind of hone in to find that.
it is. What time frame are you on?
The 6 minute.
Oh, okay. See, that's why it looks so strange. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. It kind of vaporized when I went to a different time
yeah,
frame.
I would be careful with calling that.
I don't know, man. It could play out in the 6 minute.
No, it can for sure. But
It just hasn't confirmed yet, Trent. That's all.
risk tolerance, it just depends. How much do you want to put in the trade off of a weird looking thing like that is the thing. It probably will play out,
Yeah, well, I had to kind of find it, so it was not
Right.
well exposed.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I don't really have anything. I mean, we just finished up with our beers.
Yeah, last thing before we close, let me go over to the 7 minute on Bitcoin and see how my call is playing out. Okay, so when I initially said that I would close it when it peaked above the 21 EMA, I mean, yeah. Am I sharing on the screen? Oh no.
Nope, I'm sharing it.
When I initially said that I would close this when it hit the 21 EMA, that was a good call. Because the thing is, the way that we bounced right here seems like it doesn't have enough juice to just rock it up. Like you rarely ever just get a true V-shaped recovery. That's
Jordan,
really rare.
were you in here when we went over SPX? I went over it. I was like, "Oh, don't see Jordan. He's hiding."
You rarely ever get a true V-shaped recovery, right? So because of that, I said, look, we're coming up to meet the 21 EMA, and we did. But the thing is, the RSI probably has to come back down and make like a higher low, and the price probably has to come back down and make a higher low in order to have enough structure to truly bottom, right? So because of that, I mean, a true V-shaped recovery is rare, and that's what we would have here if it just kept going up. So that's why my initial thinking on that scalp was to get back up to the 21 EMA and then close the trade and see what happens next. So that's my thought on that. What do you thinking? You wanna close out?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Go ahead. Sultan Caramel Porter.
Molly wants to close out.
Well, she should close out. I had Sultan Caramel Porter. It was 5.8%. It kind of actually tasted like peanut butter. Not gonna
Peanut
lie.
butter. Peanut bussy.
Yeah. It was salted caramel, and it tasted like kind of peanut buttery s'mores. Oh, nice, man. I love some curry.
Hey, if you're in here, you got 16 people, and if you're in here and you're not already subscribed, we just want to say one more time, it would touch Tyler right in his heart if you subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe. Smash the like. No thumbs down. Thumbs up. No thumbs down. Thumbs up. Smash it. Beautiful, elegant, most shiny bell. There you go. Hit the bell to subscribe.